Hello everyone. In this video, we'll write a program which includes a function to process the text. Okay. And what steps does it do? How does it process the text? It capitalizes the first letter of each sentence. Now, what do you define as a sentence? Basically, anything which ends in a full stop or an exclamation mark or a question mark. Then, secondly, after capitalizing the first letter of each sentence, we find out all the numbers in each sentence. Okay, and for example, if the number is, let's say, 2024, then the entire thing, 2024, together will be considered as one number, and the entire thing will be enclosed in parentheses. That means we'll add opening and closing parenthesis. No, we'll add opening parenthesis before 2024, closing parenthesis after 2024. Okay, so the numbers will be enclosed in parentheses. And now this text, where each sentence is capitalized and all the numbers are bracketed. So string, this processed text will be saved to a text file. Now this function that we are going to write will take the input text as a parameter, and the output file to which the processed text is written will also be taken as the parameter. Now let's dive into it. So this is the function. Let's go to the first step. So firstly, we create string of punctuation marks. Punctuation marks can be full stop, exclamation mark, or question mark. So that we can use in operator to check membership. If the character within the string is one of these three, that is whether it is full stop or exclamation mark or comma, or question mark. If it is full stop, exclamation mark, or question mark, that means we have encountered the end of a sentence. Okay. Then we have a list which will store the capitalized sentences. And finally, we have a string variable current sentence, which is empty. And this will serve as a temporary storage for the sentences that are being processed. Now, for character in input text, so we are going through our input string character by character. Current sentence plus equal to character. So without even checking what that character is, first thing what we'll do is we'll add that character to our current sentence string, which we have initialized as empty in the beginning. So we'll keep on adding characters to it. And then if character is in punctuation marks, that is if the character is one of full stop, exclamation mark, or question mark, then what we'll do is, now let's read from here. What we'll do is current sentence dot strip. That means because we are just adding the characters from the input text as it is into the current sentence, there can be leading and trailing spaces. There can be sentences before and after the sentence that we are reading, and we don't want those extra spaces. Okay, so we are saying current sentence dot strip. That means remove all the leading and trailing spaces. So that helps us to capitalize this. So after you remove the spaces, you will capitalize the first letter of the sentence. Okay. So capitalize norm automatically puts the string in sentence case. That is only the first character will be converted to capital, and all the remaining characters will be converted to lowercase. Okay. Now this processed sentence, current sentence, in which we have capitalized the first letter, this will be added to the list called capitalized sentences. Okay. And we'll continue with our iteration. We'll continue going through the input text. So therefore, we'll again reinitialize current sentence to be empty. Okay, so that it becomes ready to accommodate the next possible sentence in the next iteration. Okay, now after this loop is over, it is possible that the last part of the string. So for example, I'll show you the string that I'm taking as input in this case. This is my string. Okay, so 2024 is going to be an exciting year. There are 100 reasons to celebrate, including 50 holidays, etc. Whatever. Now, the last part of the string, purposefully, what I've done is start today and make the most of 365. There is no punctuation mark at the end of this. After this, the string simply ends. Okay, so there is no full stop, there is no exclamation mark, there is no question mark. So because in my loop, what I'm doing is if I encounter a punctuation mark, then I process the preceding characters. So current sentence will contain all these characters. Okay, but there is no punctuation mark here. So this will not be capitalized and it will not be added to the capital sentences list. So what I'm saying is after the entire loop gets over, if the current sentence is not empty. Okay, that means current sentence contains something. That means there was a last part of the input string which did not end in a punctuation mark, therefore it was not processed, but it has to be processed. So current sentence is not empty, something is still there to be processed. Then what you have to do is, okay, so if current sentence dot strip, as you know, if like in front of the if keyword, if we write any boolean statement, is 5 greater than 2, is 2 less than 5. Okay, so those comparison operators, relational operators, and some functions which explicitly return true or false, they can be used here. And also, 0 is considered to be false by default. Similarly, empty strings, empty lists, empty tuples, empty dictionaries, anything which is empty is considered to be false. No, any, none is also considered to be false. And non-empty strings, lists, tuples, etc. are considered to be true. So why I'm telling you all this in this case is because current sentence dot strip, I had just written that. I have not said whether it is empty or not empty, its length is not equal to 0. It's not needed because if this string is non-empty, as we saw in the example right now, if the current sentence is non-empty, then this will be considered as true and it will execute capitalized sentences dot append current sentence dot strip dot capitalize. So the last part of the string, even though it does not end with a punctuation mark, will also be capitalized and added to the capitalized sentences list. I hope it is clear up to this part. And now we simply join all the capitalized sentences together by a space. Okay, and that becomes capitalized text. So just to observe here, as you can see, sometimes I have also created sentences where there is no space after the punctuation mark. But still, what will happen after processing is it will be proper. Like after full stop, there will be a space, and then the there will begin with a capital T. Okay, this sentence will begin with a capital T. So now the next part, that is enclose the numbers in brackets. Now we'll take the capitalized text, which is the result of the first step, and we'll split it based on spaces and we'll store it in words. So what will this contain? Basically, everything in the input text will be separated into individual words of the sentences. Okay, separated by spaces. Whatever is separated by spaces will be considered as a separate word. And now for word in words, we'll go through the words. If word colon minus 1, now this is slicing. And if you don't specify the beginning index in case of slicing, then by default it begins from the beginning, that is from index 0 or position 0. So consider the word except the last character of the word. Now why this was needed to be added is because, as I have done in my string as well, sometimes the sentences can end in a number. Sometimes the sentence can end in a number and immediately followed by a punctuation mark. So in this case, what I'm saying is, okay, so if I consider this part, what I'm saying is word. So take from the beginning. So position 0, position 1, and the last position is the punctuation mark. So don't consider the punctuation mark. So the word except the punctuation mark. Word colon -1 means everything except the punctuation mark. If it is digit. Now, okay, the limitation of this program is it will only work with uh, integers. Okay, because each digit will consider, let's say, 5.2 or whatever, 3.5. That point will not be considered to be a digit. But this program works well only with integers. So if you have integer numbers, integers in the sentence, they will be enclosed in parentheses. Okay, and full stops will be considered as like decimal points, like 3.5. That point will be considered as a punctuation mark, basically. So that is a limitation. But okay, this problem, okay, uh, you know, this solution works when a sentence contains integers. Okay, so if if the word except the punctuation mark, if it is a digit, and word -1, that is the last part of the particular string. Okay, if it is in punctuation marks. Okay, so that means the 10 question mark wala case. Okay, so if it is such a case, then processed words dot append. What we are doing is we are using an f string and we are adding word itself, that is the number, because in this case the word is a number. So we are adding the integer, basically. We are adding the integer in a set of parentheses or a pair of parentheses. And after that, we are also appending whatever the punctuation mark was originally there. Okay. Else, if the word is not age digit, that is regular number which occurs uh, uh, at any other place in the sentence, whether at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. So in that case, you just append the word as it is. That is, in the sense, append the word with the pair of parentheses added. Okay. Else, process words dot append the word. It is basically when it's not a number, simply add that. And then process text will be the concatenation of all the words in the processed words joined with spaces. And finally, we'll save the processed text to a file. So we'll open the output file and in write mode and then file.write processed text, and we'll print the message. Okay, just to know that our program is done. Okay, so now we are giving this input. 2024 is going to be an exciting year. There are 100 reasons to celebrate, etc., etc., etc. Just take a look at the sentence. Okay, you can pause and take a look at the sentence if you want. Okay, and now this will be processed. So just to show you, there is these are the files within my folder right now. I'll run this and let's see the output. Okay, so we have process text.txt, and as you can see, no matter where the numbers or integers occur, basically, whether they are at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence, they are bracketed properly. Okay, the beginning of the sentences are all capitalized with a space. Okay, okay, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, any doubts, do post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.